Hey there! Did you know that the world's longest chicken flight was 13 seconds? Neither did the chicken. Hi, I'm Lucian Moser, here at the very first episode of CHNO, just for you. Not you. Not you. You. Right there. You. Just for you. So you might be asking yourself, what's CHNO? That's a good question. CHNO is a weekly show I'll be putting out every Monday at 6 a.m. Each episode will consist of 6 segments. The intro, This Week in History, Interesting Topic of the Week, My Writing of the Week, Useless Advice, and Outro. I'll be changing the formula around a bit as I go along to see what fits and what doesn't. And why is it called CHNO? There's no... Well, as a morning show, I want CHNO to work a little bit like what a cup of coffee would do. You know, to give you a boost of energy for the rest of the day. And C8H10N4O2 is the chemical formula for coffee. But since CHNO is easier to remember, I decided to use that anyway.
By the way, between you and me, you can totally watch it at any time. It's cool.
Speaking of time, here's This Week in History. On December 23rd, 1888, Vincent van Gogh cut off his ear in Arles, France. Ill and unstable, he went to a brothel he frequented and severed his left ear. He then gave the severed ear to a prostitute named Rachel, with the instructions to keep this object carefully. Keep it secret. Keep it safe. For it was the one ear to rule them all. The one ear. On December 24th, 1948, the Dover House was constructed in Dover, Massachusetts. The Dover House was unique in that it was the first house to be heated completely by solar energy. In other news, December 24th, 1948 was also the cloudiest day in Massachusetts history. On December 25th, 1997, Jerry Seinfeld announced the last season of his TV show, thus ending his insane 8-year reign of... nothing. On December 26th, 1963, the U.S. furnished cereal to the USSR. The next day, the USSR sent back the dry cereal parts and kept the marshmallowy bits. On December 27th, 1871, Harrison Weir organized the world's first cat show in London's Crystal Palace. Historians agree this is the earliest known evidence of the internet. December 28th, 1958 marks football's greatest game ever played. The Colts beat the Giants in sudden death overtime 23-17, and the championship record of receptions was set by Baltimore receiver Raymond Berry at 12. This game marked the NFL's rise in popularity, as well as arguments over whose game needed watching and whose laundry wasn't folding itself. And on December 29, 1862, the bowling ball was invented. Inventor Don Allen subsequently dropped the new device on his foot, spurring the invention of steel-toed boots. And that concludes This Week in History. If you'd like to learn more, follow the links in the description. Burgers. You love them? You eat them? You just can't beat them. And for this week's interesting topic, I'd like to discuss what I think is the perfect method in which to hand someone one of these tasty gems. Rule 1. At no point in time should anyone's hand come into contact with the burger other than the chefs and the diners. If there must be a go-between, ensure they either wear plastic gloves or carry the burger on a napkin or plate. This is less than ideal, however, as the only acceptable surfaces to contaminate a burger's flavor are the chef's hands, the diner's plate, and/or the serving spatula, if said spatula was used to cook the burger. Rule 2. The first plate a burger comes into contact with after leaving the grill must be the one it is eaten off of. In the case of serving multiple people, the serving plate is exempted from this rule and shall be considered an extension of the grill. This allows the burger to soak in any excess juices, Transferring the burger over too many plates slowly reduces the excess burger juice, reducing the burger experience. Rule 3. In the act of handling the burger, one must not hold the burger from the side. This puts the hand into contact with ingredients and flavors within the burger. These ingredients will then come off and stick to the hand, reducing the diner's burger experience. Instead, lay the burger flat on the palm of your hand, being careful to maintain a level surface. This part must be handled by a trained professional, as any miscalculation will end with the burger splattered all over the floor. The diner, on the other hand, is allowed to hold the burger any way he or she likes, as finger and hand licking to gather excess flavors is always acceptable. Rule 4. When removing hand or spatula from the burger, gently slide the burger onto the plate or diner's hands, being careful not to tip it over. Once the hand or spatula has been removed, slowly back away and leave the diner to their burger experience. When handing a friend, relative, or other loved one a burger, it is important to keep these rules in mind. Improper burger handling results in 70% of all disappointing burger experiences. Don't let your loved ones down. Treat them to a burger this holiday season the right way. Also, don't forget to leave a comment below if you have any suggestions for proper burger handling, or you can troll. This week's writing piece is a poem I wrote back in high school about self-image and bullying. Enjoy. She's not about to win a beauty pageant. Her gait is awkward, stuttering, offbeat pulses, and her voice falters, stop and go, cracked, doing everything but speak up for her. She's not the popular one. Her hair is a natural disaster, her eyes too big, nose crooked, lips thin, neck veins bulging, breasts small, arms thin, hands shaky, fingers bony, hips wide, legs like tree trunks, and feet like glue. She's the one that makes the others say, "At least I'm not her," when they panic over a solitary pimple. She's the one they laugh at during school, whose reputation is a "she's so ugly" joke, who gets Coca-Cola dumped on her brand new dress at homecoming, who would study all night because her textbooks can't bully her, who can't remember the last time a guy sat down to talk to her. And she could take it all once, believing it to be an elaborate prank, or a joke she wasn't fully understanding, but realization, like blood rushing to her head after sitting up too fast, would flood her mind and reroute all roads to a vile downland. She became not only the outsider, but the other girl. The one who cries every night, who slits her wrists, who overeats, purges, smokes, drinks, injects, steals, burns, screams, inhales, wanders, argues, and shreds drafted suicide notes. Her life is no clean engine, and it coughs and rattles in ways only she knows, but she likes it that way. Her problems are hers alone. She has no need to give ammunition to her own firing squad, who every day fire accusations at her huddled form against a cold wall. But she is not what they say. She is not a failure. She's not trophy-winning or wildly successful, but she will never, never, ever fail to be what she deserves to be. Beautiful. Beneath the disorders, the drugs, the flaws, and other satellites, there's a sleeping beauty, a hidden goddess, a basket of roses, scents fresh as spring. She lies flat on her stomach, her head in her arms, her silky hair pooled on the ground, and with every scar outside she sheds a tear, salt like an ocean stinging her soft cheeks. All the insults, the isolation and the pain rain down on her like sludge on her radiant skin and cement in her eyes. But in spite of it all, she stays put. She's still beautiful beneath the muck, and she will never leave. She will always be beautiful, and you can never take that away. So you may have noticed something lacking in this episode. If you said Christmas spirit, you'd be right. But do you really want Christmas in this episode? I mean, think about how many other people have already made Christmas episodes. Not everyone watching celebrates Christmas. I mean, do you really want Christmas in this episode? Really? I forgot how it goes. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Excuse me? This has been your weekly CHNO. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You wouldn't want to miss next week's episode, would you? This has been Lucian Moser, reminding you not to counteract platypus venom with an ice pack. That will only make it worse. Have a nice day.
How does it look?
It looks interesting.